on to our interview segment, and we have a brand new Soundbooth theater author joining us today, Mr. Alex Raizman. Come on to the stage, Alex.
Hey, Alex!
Oh, wait,
Hello.
we can't hear you. You're muted. Your headphone's muted. I can see the red light is on the mic.
Hello, hello.
Do you have a mute button?
Oh,
There it is. That should be it. Did it work?
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes!
Excellent. There we go. I know what I'm
Yay!
doing, I swear.
Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, we all do too. Totally.
There we go.
So, I am currently narrating Alex's book, Dinosaur Dungeon, and it has been so fun.
Wrath,
And
book one.
I've done a lot of it live in the booth, so some of you here have gotten a little sneak peek of what you're in store for. But actually, I dropped off a few days ago, and the story really starts to get, it really starts ramping up. So you guys are, I'm not, you know, I haven't spoiled the story for you.
You're keeping all the good stuff to yourself.
I'm keeping it to myself. Yeah. I'm actually, well, I don't know what parts to mention and not mention. So let's see. One thing that I really love about this book is, and I mean, it's kind of like, this is my first dungeon core, which is like a totally new world. But my favorite movie of all time is Being John Malkovich. And strangely, there are some similarities because it's all about, it's like the deep philosophical question of like consciousness, you know, what is it? And what is the self actually? And is this, out of curiosity, is this a subject of interest to you as well? Is this partially why you're drawn to Dungeon Core?
That is part of it, yeah. Just the idea of at what point do you end and your surroundings begin is a question I've always found fascinating. And the idea when I first reading it, seeing these books that are, about a sentient building, which is, something that really kind of drew me in. Like, okay, there's a lot to that. And also then dinosaurs, because I am a self-parody.
Yeah, and also like dinosaurs. So, sorry, Jeff, would you like to ask a question or two? I need to mute this.
Are you gonna like cough your face off?
I just like drank a bunch of water down the wrong pipe.
Okay, all right.
Don't breathe water, you gotta fish.
Yeah. Okay, so I've been working on it today. I'm playing Pierre. Now one cool thing about this book, I noticed that dungeon cores almost always have a fairy guiding the dungeon core, and most of the time they're like a bright chipper young lady, and they're like, actually I've tried to listen to some audiobooks and they get kind of annoying, but Pierre is actually our female protagonist's fairy, and I've been doing a George St-Pierre impression for him.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Why did you choose Pierre? Why did you? I don't think you actually had a French accent in mind. I'm not sure, but he does drink a shit ton of wine. So what's the story behind this character?
Okay, so this book went through, like a lot of times, a couple iterations before I actually got to where it was right. And Tira and Pierre both went through several iterations as well while I was doing that. Like, originally this book had a post-apocalyptic theme, and it was going to be a raid dungeon, and there was like several different things I was kind of playing with. And I was doing a bit too much at once, so I kind of decided to simplify. And so I was writing, and I realized that the core was not, in fact, a guy, because that's what the original draft had. I realized that she was Tira, and so like, okay, so I gotta do that. I need a name for the fairy, and I like the two main characters being of different genders, so we can have that kind of interplay. So I needed a name, and I just went with Pierre. And I was talking to another friend of mine, and she's like, so he loves wine. I'm like, Yes, he does. Like, and as that started snowballing, and she and I talked about it for a while, and kind of clicked the character in my head really well. And it's like, okay, this is absolutely who he is.
Yeah, he works. Like, I love Pierre. I love all the characters, really. I
Thank you.
love Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
He's so precious. Like, I want. There have been like multiple times while narrating that I've just been like, man, I really want to cuddle with this dinosaur.
So when I first started writing it, I was doing a bunch of dinosaur Facebook groups, and there was one in particular that had a picture on it that I have not been able to find since, of a very realistic feathered velociraptor snuggling with a cat. And I'm like, that right there, I need that in the book.
And we just got from Jessica Hicks, Yowl is the best character. So yeah, exactly. And like a dinosaur cat duo. I mean, like the interactions are just like endless. Like you could just
Mhm.
keep writing and writing and writing these books forever, and like the cute interactions between Zeke and Yowl would like never run dry.
Yeah, I've considered doing like just a bonus thing that was a short story that's just, Zeke and Yal have an adventure on their own and just go out and do their thing.
Oh my gosh, you so need to do that. You need to at least have like a montage, like just a little like, yes. I'll take as much of that as you want to dish out personally. Now, you have Yowl is really a very let's say a believable cat, you must have some inspiration for Yowl in your personal life.
I do. I have my cat, Loki. And I was literally, when I was writing that book, and I added Yal, and I was trying to figure out the name as I was writing, and as behind me, my cat just lets out this long I was like, oh, okay, that's the name right there. Because I hadn't given him attention the past 15 minutes, which clearly is a terrible abuse.
That's really, oh God. I can't believe you're admitting that on air.
I know, right? He's actually behind me right now, just asleep on the floor.
Is there
Tell
a
me
way
what
that
you
you
did.
can like,
Let
can
me
you like
see.
show him to us?
Hey there.
Oh, hi,
Oh,
kitty.
look at him.
Hey.
Hi, Loki.
Hello, Loki.
Oh, no, look at the camera.
Boop the snoot.
Hey.
Is that his house?
Snoot.
Let me go in for the boop, if I can get the camera to hold without falling. There we go.
Snoot boop.
Oh.
He booped the snoot, everyone. He booped the snoot.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Let's go on that positive
So
momentum.
actually, I just want you all to know that Dinosaur
Hashtag
Dungeon is
FYP.
actually extremely plot driven, and there's a lot of action in it.
Like, believe me, the book, I could have done the entire book about adorable dinosaurs, but I had to, have plot, characters, action, all that stuff. But really good dinosaurs, like.
Yeah. So there are some classic dinos in there, and then you'll find that there are some there's a little bit of poetic license taken,
Mhm.
right? And
Absolutely.
so I think for dinosaur lovers, it'll be fun to spot like, is that real or is that poetic license? And there's a place where you can check it out, right?
Mhm.
At
Yeah,
the
add the appendix
end.
at the end,
Yeah.
because
All right.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
My current dinosaur education has been supplemented and refreshed by a video game called Ark.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
okay, so shut up. It's a good game. So all right, I've only ever encountered the Deinonychus in Ark. I've never heard of Deinonychus before that video game.
Mhm.
I still don't really understand what the difference is between a Deinonychus and a raptor.
So Deinonychus is a dromaeosaur like a raptor. Really, it's just
Velociraptor, I guess.
yeah, Velociraptor. Just a matter of scale. A lot of people who were big fans of Jurassic Park would say that the raptors in that movie were classified as Deinonychus, although that's not entirely
They're
actually
closer to
accurate.
Utah Raptors, weren't they?
Yes, thank you. Someone who knows, because people always say Deinonychus. It's like, no, that's a Utah raptor. Velociraptors were about turkey size. The Deinonychus were probably the size of a Labrador retriever, and then Utah raptors were actually like Jurassic Park raptor size.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's a scale.
Yeah.
It's a scale of size. Because in the video game, Deinonychus are just like absolutely psycho, super fast, and I don't even understand like you know, how you're like I don't even understand how you're supposed to tame them. Like the only time I ever I ever tamed one, like I ever rode one, was when James Baldwin, when we were on his server, and he like knows everything about that game, so he was able to.
Was that the cat?
Jeff, did we just get booped?
He booped the camera.
Cat's like, I will not be booped.
Yeah.
You
The
will
god
get
of
booped
mischief.
too.
All right, sorry, I had to get in my little nerdy question there. I was just very very curious about that.
No, you're fine. It's one of the fun things about dinosaurs is that a lot of their behavior has to be somewhat guessed at or inferred. And, you know, where possible to go for accuracy, but a lot of things like so many things keep changing. You know, so much of what we know about them is constantly evolving. So like how aggressive or passive dinosaur was is entirely up to interpretation for any given dinosaur. As much as possible to base it on either a similar mammal or a similar bird whenever I could find one.
All right. Do you draw mainly from Cretaceous period dinosaurs, or do you go into like Jurassic or Triassic periods?
Across the spectrum. You just anywhere in the range, as long as it's not a modern day dinosaur, because those are birds and, you know.
Yeah, it's like a robin redbreast is just like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm a raptor, bitch.
I mean, I was like, do I need to clarify that I mean only extinct dinosaurs? Because technically, and then like, if I get into that, technically the terror bird is an extinct dinosaur, but it's not really what I'm going for here. I'm just like, you know what? I'll just put it in there, and people will figure it out what I mean.
I think they will. I think everyone knows what dinosaurs really are, and they're the long forgotten animals that we all wish were here but really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if your Triceratopses got out and were just running around? Like, they would mess everything up.
They really would.
I know.
Like, their faces are like big weapons.
Yeah. But they'd be fun to ride.
They would be great to ride.
And they wouldn't be able to reach you. I mean, they're big enough.
Triceratops. Isn't the Triceratops the one that turns out to be like a Frankenstein of different dinosaurs? Or?
Oh no,
it might be the
Brontosaurus.
So, fun thing about Brontosaurus, the original Brontosaurus was a Frankenstein of two different dinosaurs, and then later they discovered that there was in fact a dinosaur with the criteria they had a Brontosaurus that wasn't a Frankenstein. So Brontosaurus is now once again a valid dinosaur.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's convenient.
It is. It really is.
Just, well, we already have a name for this one. Oh, great.
Basically, yeah.
I'll bet all the people who like destroyed their Brontosaurus, you know, paraphernalia.
Oh yeah.
Like, damn it!
Like when Pluto wasn't a planet anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
The things that you use to consume Brontosaurus. Their paraphernalia is gone. Shit, man. Well, Alex, one thing I wanted to ask you about is you just had another audiobook. I'm sorry. No, there is already an audiobook on Audible right now. It seems to have a bunch of good ratings, but was it Keldora that's in almost ready? Like I thought that actually Keldora was submitted a while ago.
Yes, it was. But it turns out that the audiobook had been held up by ACX because it had been claimed. And I just got done getting it unclaimed by ACX, so it should be on there soon.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We have a problem with an audiobook that hasn't been published either. We have Song of the Depths by Bonnie Price, which was submitted June 24th, and it's now August.
Wow.
And it's just sitting there.
And no word or anything?
I emailed him. Nothing. No answer. So I don't know what ACX
pretty wishy-washy.
It's weird. So do you know who claimed your book?
It says it was me, and I had ages ago because I was doing the initial editions, but then I went through a production company for it, and I removed it from there. But they said I never did, even though it wasn't on my screen anymore. And they said, "Okay, it's cleared up now." I'm like, "But what happened?" They're like, "The issue's been resolved." I'm like, "But what happened?"
It's just not. It's
We
just
fixed
fine.
it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Don't look
It's
behind
not
the
wrong
curtain.
anymore.
Don't look. Don't.
I don't know if like it just got stuck in the back end, or if someone else claimed it, or what happened. I just know it should be clear now.
Right. Well, Keldora is another Dungeon Core book. Is that right?
To a degree, it has some digital quiz similarities. It was inspired by like Factorio and Dyson Sphere program type factory building games.
Gotcha. Oh, that sounds so cool.
So it's Dungeon Core adjacent, and in a later book, Dungeon Core comes into it.
Okay. And when was it that it was officially submitted without issues?
I'd have to check because I am bad with days, and it's been a crazy couple of weeks here. At some point in the last 2 weeks,
So it should be out any day now.
any day.
What is the official name of the first book?
The Waste of Keldora.
The Waste of Keldora. All right, guys. So watch out on Audible for that release. And also, you have book 2 of Dinosaur Dungeon come out now. Book 1 is called Wrath.
Yes.
Book 2 is called what again?
Pride.
So we already have this 7 Deadly Sins theme going on.
Yes, I don't know if I'm going to do all 7 of them.
Okay.
I really don't really want to write Dinosaur Dungeon Lust. That's not this kind of book series.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
Please
fun.
write that.
No.
They already have it.
They won't let you publish
Are
it.
there going to be
They already have it.
dragons
It's
in
called
Pride?
Space Raptor Butt Invasion.
Is that a Chuck Tingle book?
Yes.
But yes,
That's already written. So just go read
I
that.
have to say, you really have a knack for describing dragons.
Thank you.
For coming up with like really unique characteristics.
Thank you.
This isn't Dragon Dungeon.
I know, but there are dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There
there are
be-
dragons.
There'd be dragons.
Look at that thing.
So many dragons.
Oh yes, I am a huge fan of dragons. And funny, what started that actually in the book was a friend shared a meme with me about dragons, and I just went, I can have dragons fight dinosaurs. No one could stop me. And changed like the last third of the book after that, and we had to go back and edit that in because I was like, I gotta have
I'm so
that.
glad you did. I'm so glad you did.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm really glad you put a Carnotaurus in there too, because I just enjoy
Carnos.
picturing like the most pathetic arms anything has ever had.
Yes.
On a
Yeah, people have put
horrible,
T-Rex arms,
vicious-
but
No, they're like flippers
right,
with nails.
right.
Like they're nothing. I don't know.
Such a
I don't
vicious
even...
I want to
name.
like paint the nail. I want to get a little fire engine red on the little nail.
You don't mess with me. I'm a Carnotaurus. I'm
Yeah.
gonna mess you up, boy.
Get a fancy kind of Taurus.
So
Yeah.
when
Slap
is
some falsies on the lash.
I know Pride has been delayed a little bit. Do you have
Yes.
a projected new release date for that?
The 11th,
Of
which
August. So
August, very soon. Yes,
all right.
it is going through its final pass right now, and unless I uncover a major problem that I have to do some serious fixes, that will be the release date.
Perfect. It's great. So guys, if we have made you incredibly too curious to wait for audio to come out, you can go check out Wrath, Dinosaur Dungeon by Alex Raizman on Amazon right now. And book 2 is just around the corner. So if you finish that monster of a book, actually, is it more than 200,000 words?
No, it's about 160,000.
Okay. It's
Beast.
still pretty damn big. It's still a beast of a book. It's still a
Nice
dinosaur of a
it's
book.
nice long book.
But if you manage to chomp through that thing
It's a lot of book to love.
before the audio comes out, then book 2 should be there waiting for you. So Alex, thank you so much for coming on
welcome.
our show and talking about your book. We're having a great
thanks for your
time
time,
recording
Alex.
We'll be
Thank
done
you.
not too long from now. I mean, let's see. Do you think maybe Annie, you'll be done narrating next week? Maybe
I'll be done narrating over the weekend.
over the weekend.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
I
I'll be right behind you, finishing up Pierre and Zeke and Gleck.
Gleck.
Glad
Fozor. You have your
to throw in an imp.
yeah,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and then
absolutely.
you have
Bonus
your
Token
favorite band of adventurers trope there with Fozor and
Mhm.
what's the knight's name? The paladin.
Lavaz.
Yeah. Oh, we've been calling him
We've been calling
Lavos.
it Lavos.
That works.
Okay, cool.
I don't have a very auditory way. I don't really hear things in my head when I write. I kind of more see the words. So
I don't think you understand what a stomach dropping moment that was for a second. Like, oh my god, I've been saying it wrong
I know,
400 times.
No. We talked about it beforehand. I got the important ones.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. I was over here
But
going.
Jeff was having a stomach dropping
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
for
I
sure.
would.
See, no, I was going here going. How they told him to pronounce that? I forgot. I can spell it, but
All right. Well, again, thanks so much, Alex. And we're going to move on. Yeah, everybody. Do we have the Dinosaur Dungeon book link in the description below in our YouTube video? We will.
If we
will
don't,
very
then
soon.
we
We
will.
will.
Awesome.
Okay,
And I
we
just want
will.
to say thank you guys for having me. I've listened a couple times to each of you recording and loved it so far. So I'm very excited.
We're excited
Yay.
for you, man. All right.
Thank you.
Alex Raizman, everybody.
Take it easy, Alex.
Thank you again.
Bye.
All right, guys.
I have been looking at pictures of dinosaurs this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you
Carnotaurs
have.
are
Been looking at pictures of
ridiculous.
Carnotaurs
Aren't they like
are-
small T-Rexes with little horns?
Yes.
Is that
They
right?
got horns and tiny, tiny flappy
They're
arms.
so cool.
Terror birds are terrifying. Deinonychus as well.
You have to wonder what the function of those tiny arms are. Like even on a T-Rex, like it's got its big functional mouth, it's ferocious,
That's the
and
thing,
it's just
not
like,
functional.
I'll stretch
It-
you
it-
up.
It's like snakes, right? Like snakes used to have legs way back when, and they just kept receding and receding through evolution.
They're aesthetic.
They didn't need them.
It's aesthetic.
They are. It's not aesthetic. It's vestigial.
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 Yes.
Vestigial.
It's aesthetic when you put nail polish on it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and damn it, I had something.
My boy Ahmed on
Yeah.
the ones and twos.
One more thing before we're off the topic of Dinosaur Dungeon, and one of the main reasons why you guys should pick the book up when it's available. Well, it's available now, but also when it's available on audio, there are raptor mages.
Raptor mages that are raptors.
Yes.
Is there
They-
anything more terrifying than
Um,
a
th-
raptor with
What
magic?
kind of magic?
Like,
Like, do they shoot
Well,
fireballs out
is
of
there
their mouth?
anything-
Yeah, I mean, there are some pretty terrifying dragons.
Really?
Okay, is there anything more terrifying and simultaneously hilarious
No.
than
If they're-
raptor mages? Yeah.
Maybe a
It is
carnivore.
simultaneously.
So
Yeah.
you guys just kind of have to buy the book now.
It's
because that-
really very good.
It sounds
I
great.
have really enjoyed narrating it.
Good.
And I
Good.
was like, oh no, I have to narrate this dungeon core and I'm not gonna know how to do it. And I was like really like kind of dreading it. But I've actually had a great time. It's been a blast.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right. Well, I
a good
mean,
book.
I already kind of knew what Dungeon Core was, and I was ready for it. I was actually looking forward to
You're
it.
up
And
for
I
the
was
challenge.
and I was up for playing GSP. I mean, come on, man. Any excuse to do that.
Just to do that voice.
Yeah.
So fun.
Mhm.
I'm not impressed by your performance, you know.